Welcome to the Daily Globe. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. A new conflict is brewing, not on the seas, but in the halls of power and the digital realm. The world is witnessing a seismic shift where the old guard and the new wave of innovators collide, not with weapons, but with ideas and influence. On one side stands the US Navy, a force that has projected American might for over a century. The aircraft carrier, a floating city of steel and technology, has long been the ultimate symbol of military dominance, carrying thousands of sailors and the hopes of a nation across the world's oceans. On the other side is Elon Musk, a tech titan whose vision and ambition have already reshaped industries. Now, wielding influence at the heart of government, Musk is challenging the very foundation of military strategy, pushing boundaries and questioning long-held assumptions. As head of the Department of Government Efficiency, Musk questions the staggering costs of traditional military hardware. He advocates for swarms of intelligent, adaptable drones, machines that can be built quickly, deployed en masse, and updated with the latest software, rather than relying on a handful of expensive, manned platforms. His blunt critiques, broadcast to millions on social media, have sent shockwaves through the defense establishment. The world is now forced to confront a difficult question. Are the 20th century symbols of power, like aircraft carriers, becoming obsolete in the face of rapid technological change? This debate is unfolding against a backdrop of rising global tensions and accelerating innovation. Nations like China are developing advanced weapons designed specifically to neutralize America's naval edge, making the stakes higher than ever before. Musk argues that pouring billions into legacy systems is futile in this new era. Instead, he envisions a future where thousands of cheap autonomous drones can overwhelm a handful of costly assets, shifting the balance of power and rewriting the rules of warfare. The outcome of this clash will shape how superpowers prepare for future conflicts, influencing not just military budgets but global stability and the very definition of what it means to be a military superpower in the 21st century. As of September 2025, the question is no longer if warfare will change, but how and who will lead the charge into this uncharted future. To grasp this debate, we must understand the aircraft carrier's monumental role in history. For a century, these floating airfields have symbolized American power and reach, evolving from humble beginnings like the converted USS Langley. Carriers became the cornerstone of naval strategy, projecting air power globally without relying on foreign bases. A carrier strike group is a self-contained ecosystem, enforcing no-fly zones, launching strikes, securing shipping lanes, and delivering aid. Their mere presence deters adversaries and signals American resolve. Continuous innovation, from straight decks to nuclear propulsion, has kept carriers at the forefront of technology. More than weapons, they are icons of American leadership and commitment to global order. Musk's challenge isn't just about hardware, it questions the very doctrine that has defined U.S. power for generations. The U.S. Navy's answer to modern threats is the Gerald R. Ford-class supercarrier, a vessel that represents the cutting edge of maritime engineering and military ambition. It's the most advanced and expensive warship ever built, a floating fortress designed to project power and deter adversaries across the globe. The USS Gerald R. Ford, with a staggering price tag of over £10 billion, is engineered to secure American naval supremacy for generations to come, setting a new standard for what a carrier can achieve. Among its groundbreaking innovations is the electromagnetic aircraft launch system, or EMALS, which replaces traditional steam catapults. This system allows for smoother, more efficient aircraft launches, reducing wear and tear on both planes and crew. EMALS not only boosts sortie rates, allowing more aircraft to be launched in less time, but also extends the operational life of the carrier's air wing. Meanwhile, the ship's new nuclear reactors generate nearly triple the power of previous carriers, opening the door to future upgrades. This surplus energy powers advanced systems like EMALS, state-of-the-art radar, and even experimental technologies such as high-energy lasers, making the Ford class a platform built for tomorrow's warfare. Automation is another leap forward, reducing the required crew by 700 compared to older carriers. This not only saves billions in operating costs over the ship's lifespan, but also allows for a more efficient and safer working environment. The upcoming USS Enterprise, the next in the Ford-class line, will soon join the fleet, replacing legendary carriers and continuing the evolution of naval power. These ships embody the Navy's vision for the future, more lethal, more efficient, and more adaptable than any carrier before them, ready to face new challenges on the world's oceans. For the Navy, the Ford class is a £10 billion bet that the aircraft carrier will remain the centerpiece of American military power, even as warfare evolves. But as new threats emerge and technology races ahead, the question remains, is this monumental gamble still the right move for the future of naval dominance? As the US invests in carriers, China has developed a new threat anti-ship ballistic missiles, or carrier killers. The DF-21D and DF-26 missiles can strike moving ships from over 1,500 to 4,000 kilometers away, creating vast no-go zones for US fleets. These weapons force carriers to operate farther from shore, blunting their effectiveness. The psychological and strategic impact is profound. Losing a carrier would be catastrophic. Musk argues that investing billions in a single vulnerable platform is flawed when a cheaper missile can neutralize it. The US Navy is developing countermeasures, but the question remains, can carriers survive in the age of precision, long-range missiles? The rise of carrier killers is a classic case of asymmetric warfare, challenging the logic of traditional power projection. Enter Elon Musk, whose vision, sometimes called the Musk Doctrine, prioritizes mass, autonomy, and cost-effectiveness over traditional high-cost military platforms. Musk's approach is to rethink the very foundations of warfare, shifting away from the old paradigm of a few powerful machines toward a future where quantity, intelligence, and adaptability rule the battlefield. He argues that in the digital age, networked swarms of drones, each communicating and adapting in real time, will outmatch expensive manned systems that are slow to evolve and costly to replace. The power of numbers and connectivity, Musk believes, will define the next era of military dominance. For the price of a single F-35 fighter jet, a nation could build hundreds of AI-guided drones. These swarms, working together, could overwhelm even the most advanced fighter aircraft, saturating defenses and exploiting weaknesses that a lone jet could never reach. Musk's philosophy, proven by SpaceX's Starlink constellation, is to create distributed, resilient networks that are hard to disable. By spreading assets across vast areas and connecting them digitally, he makes it nearly impossible for adversaries to take down the entire system at once. He proposes applying this model to military hardware, swarms of autonomous drones produced quickly and affordably, making losses acceptable and even expected. This rapid, scalable production could fundamentally change how nations prepare for and fight wars. This approach appeals to those frustrated by spiraling defense budgets and the vulnerability of legacy systems, which are often expensive to maintain and slow to adapt to new threats. Musk's provocations force the defense establishment to confront uncomfortable questions about efficiency, innovation, and the true nature of military power in a rapidly changing world. He positions himself as the ultimate disruptor, challenging the military-industrial complex with first principles thinking and a willingness to break with tradition. The future, Musk argues, belongs to those who master algorithms, mass production, and rapid innovation, not just steel and firepower. In this new era, adaptability and digital prowess will decide who prevails. The carrier versus drone debate isn't just technical, it's about global power. Carriers have long been America's primary tool of diplomacy and deterrence, able to project force anywhere. If their dominance fades, so might America's ability to shape world events. A shift to drones would make power projection less visible and more deniable, potentially leading to more frequent, lower-intensity conflicts. The economic impact would be seismic, disrupting the vast industrial base that supports carrier construction. Tech companies could eclipse traditional defense giants, and smaller nations could gain new military leverage. As drone technology becomes cheaper, the playing field levels, empowering smaller states and non-state actors. The world could become more multipolar and less stable as the old arbiters of power lose their edge. Imagine two futures, one where the carrier adapts, the other where the drone swarm prevails. In the first, the Ford-class carrier evolves into a mothership for manned and unmanned systems, using advanced defenses to remain relevant. Its unmatched endurance and power projection keep it central to global strategy, but only a few nations can afford such might. The carrier becomes a networked hub, not obsolete but transformed. In the second future, Musk's vision wins. Military power is defined by vast, distributed drone networks. Swarms launch from ships, planes, and land, making the military footprint diffuse and hard to target. Warfare becomes faster, more algorithmic, and less human, with power shifting to those who master AI and manufacturing. Large-scale invasions fade, persistent low-level conflict becomes the norm. The very character of war changes, from a contest of steel to a contest of silicon. Which future will prevail, or will reality blend the two? Experts predict the future will be a hybrid, carriers and drones working together. Carriers remain unmatched as mobile command posts and logistics hubs, but must evolve to survive. The likely outcome: carriers become motherships for vast drone networks, coordinating sensors and shooters across huge distances. But the threat from carrier-killer missiles is real. Innovation in defense and tactics is essential. Building bigger ships isn't enough. Survivability depends on rapid adaptation and distributed operations. Musk's vision is a catalyst for change but oversimplifies military realities. The challenge is to merge the disruptive power of drones with the proven strengths of traditional platforms. Only by combining both can navies remain powerful and resilient in an uncertain future. We stand at a turning point in military history, where old rules are being rewritten. The clash between Ford-class carriers and Musk's drone swarms is about more than technology, it's about the soul of strategy. The future of naval supremacy will likely be a synthesis, carriers as networked motherships, supporting resilient, distributed swarms. This evolution is vital for survival in an era of great power competition and rapid innovation. Musk's challenge accelerates necessary change, pushing the establishment to adapt and rethink power. The next era will be defined by the strength of networks, steel and silicon, manned and unmanned, working together. The future of sea power is arriving, more complex and dynamic than ever before.